If you live in Scotland and have multiple unsecured debts over £5,000, you might want to look into getting a protected trust deed. PTD, as I'll call it now for short, is an agreement between you and your creditors, the people you owe money to. With a PTD, you only pay what you can afford towards your debts. Once the PTD is complete, the remaining debt is written off, meaning that you don't have to pay it back. Your PTD is managed by an insolvency practitioner. The IP decides what you can afford to pay and whether any assets need to be sold. They also handle all communication with your creditors. When your trust deed becomes a protected trust deed, creditors can't contact you or add interest once the agreement is accepted. Plus, you're legally protected from any further action by your creditors. This usually runs for 4 years, and when it's finished, any leftover debt's written off. Here are some of the benefits to a PTD. You make a single monthly payment based on what you can afford. Interest charges and debt collection efforts stop once your PTD is accepted. Most of your non-priority or unsecured debts are included, and after you make your final payment, the rest of your debts are written off. However, there are some risks too. Your PTD is kept on the public register of insolvencies for at least 5 years and stays on your credit file for 6 years, which can make it harder to get credit. You might need to sell assets worth over £1,000 or use property equity to pay your debts. Items on hire purchase agreements can also be affected. Before deciding on a PTD, it's really important to get expert debt advice. Your insolvency practitioner will figure out how much you need for essentials and what you can afford to pay towards your debts. It's really crucial to be honest with them about all of your finances. There are some conditions to keep in mind during a PTD. If you apply to borrow more than £2,000 alone or with someone else, you must tell the lender about your PTD. You need to work with your insolvency practitioner and make all your agreed payments. If you break the terms, your PTD can fail and you might owe all your debts plus interest and charges. Your creditors or insolvency practitioner could even apply to make you bankrupt. Sometimes a PTD can be extended if you own a home with equity and don't remortgage within 4 years or take a payment break. Your PTD will be on the Register of Insolvencies, publicly available to anybody online until 1 year after your PTD finishes. Your name and address will be listed, so talk to your insolvency practitioner if you feel that this could put you at risk. Your job also might be affected by a PTD, especially if it involves handling other people's money. It's a good idea to check your employment contract or speak to your employer if you're unsure. There is a charge for the insolvency practitioner which comes from the trust deed fund. This fund is made up of your payments and any assets or equity included. If a protected trust deed is something that you're considering, you can speak to one of our friendly team members. They can talk you through your options and whether it's something that could be suitable for you. We're rated 5 stars on Trustpilot. Feel free to read the reviews and give us a call.